Hi everyone, welcome today. As we just inviting other people or putting other people in the Zoom because the session is being live streamed as well as there are other guests that are in the Zoom. So we're just going to wait 2 minutes, then we can kick off the session. Welcome back. Welcome again to our other webinar, important webinar that we're going to be discussing today. As the host of the show, I'm so excited in two ways today. Firstly, this is our first webinar or a podcast in our new studio, our very own Brainmore Business Hub studio. Secondly, I'm so excited that our first guest, who's going to be the moderator of the day, is Natasha Mohantla. Natasha, just as a brief of introduction before we kick off the session, Natasha is a powerhouse in the legal and business space. Natasha, she is an intellectual property artisan. She ran an organization called NMAIP, and she's a business owner, a trainer, a mentor, and she has mentored a lot of entrepreneurs. She has built an incredible advising a lot of clients about brands protection. That's a specialist. Welcome, Natasha. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Meen. It's an absolute honor to be here, part of your amazing community. And congratulations. I know the first webinar that I attended or presented was at your old offices. Yes. So congratulations. Your new offices are absolutely beautiful. I love the new studio. Thank you so much for having me. I'm just going to give you a brief introduction. I am Natasha Mohanlal, founder and managing director of Natasha Mohanlal and Associates Incorporated. We are a boutique international intellectual property law firm specializing in trademarks, copyright, patent, and design services. We help businesses protect their most valuable assets, namely their brands, their inventions, and their creative works. I'm also the managing director of NMA Enterprise Solutions. We are a training academy whereby we offer corporates IP training, especially on brand protection and the importance of it. Brainmore is my accountants, and I've used them for a number of years. Extremely impressed and happy with their services. Meen always goes the extra mile for me personally, I know, and I'm very grateful to have you guys as my accountants.
Thank you.
So financial resilience is something that deeply resonates with me, especially, being a business owner and going through the business journey with challenges, highs and lows. But today, Meen, I have the privilege of flipping the script and asking you the questions, because I believe that your wisdom and your practical advice will truly help the many business owners tuning in today.
Yeah.
So let's get started. I've got a few questions for you that I'm sure that your listeners are eager to hear your take on. And firstly, Meen, you've worked with hundreds of small businesses over the years.
Yeah.
When you talk about financial resilience, what does that really mean, practically speaking?
Yeah, so financial resilience, before we actually dig into that, Natasha, let's dissect the big word. I know resilient is a word that a lot of people uses. Then we're going to bring it back to the financial context. So to start off, resilience, if we just go on a dictionary, it means the ability to withstand. It means the ability to recover. You can only recover from a storm, from a challenge. You get what I'm saying? So resilience, you can also adapt to challenges or setbacks that happen. So that's resilient. When you still move on, regardless of those challenges, we say there's resilience there. So you withstand a storm if you are withstanding resilient. You withstand or recover for sickness as well, or challenges, as if that challenge never happened. You get it? So resilient now is not actually avoiding the storm, because in business, these storms are always there. You can look back at COVID times.
Yes.
It's a setback there. So also in the context now of financial resilience in business, we're talking about the ability of your business or of your company to survive financial stress. And one might then ask, what kind of financial stress that are there in the business, right? We're talking about slow sales. It's a financial stress, because if the sales are slow, the finance that come up out of that, out of those sales, it's less as well. We're talking about a sudden cost increase in major components. Recently, the government were up to increasing VAT, which will conversely increase the cost of things. So that can be a setback, a challenge in there. So losing a big client, you know, that can be a big setback.
Yes, definitely.
A client maybe that you had years that you have relied, you've actually done projections, looking, then you lose it. Those are certain setbacks as well. So some economic downturn as well. Inflation, talk about inflation, a lot of things that happen in the economy. So these are the things that are inevitable in business. So when you are saying financial resilience, how do you come back from those setbacks? Yeah.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. That was quite insightful.
Yeah.
About mistakes that many businesses that make businesses fragile. What are some of the common mistakes you see small business owners make that really put them at financial risk?
Okay, so you see, there as a company, Brainwise is a company who have helped and has been working with enterprises, small business that are corporatizing their entities. I'm going just to talk about 4 mistakes, because there are a lot.
I can imagine many more than 4.
Yes. So one of the biggest for me is not building cash reserves, Natasha.
Absolutely.
So for stormy times, you have to have a backup.
Definitely, most definitely.
You find out that many small businesses or many businesses, sometimes they're so excited of receiving that huge funds that come from the project.
Absolutely.
And they don't have the financial discipline that if there's anything that happens, we can still stand. That's why you find out that business can actually die down.
Absolutely.
A business that was thriving because they never build cash reserve. When I mean cash reserve, enough cash reserve. So that's one of the mistakes that business have as well. But I kind of feel that it's a habit that the leaders or the managers, that they don't have when the discipline in their own personal finance.
Absolutely.
You can't go and give the business what you don't have.
No.
You know. So that's one of the major mistake, Natasha, there. So the other one is flexible mindset. In business, when you're running a business, it calls for flexibility more than fixed mindsets. So what do I mean? Willingness to adapt. This one, at some point I was telling my brother, he ran his business. I'm like, this business is not coming out. Leave this thing.
There we go. The expert speaks.
But running a business is emotional.
Oh, yes.
It's a very emotional decision. So now you have already, like as someone who have already started a business, you have already defined your products, how you want to satisfy your clients, and the things are not coming. Then the mistake is to stay fixed.
Yes.
When all signs are telling you that you need to be flexible, not only in living, but also in adapting making new changes within the organization. So that's mistake number 2, Natasha. My fourth mistake is actually relying on one custom.
Oh, absolutely. No, you can't do that.
Relying on one.
You can't do that.
So you find out that you're not diversifying your income. When you are onboarding your clients, sometimes you can even ask them to say, you can actually, when we are onboarding our clients, we say, who are your clients? You find out that 90% is coming from one client.
Wow.
What's happening? Where's the survival of this?
No.
So that's a very big mistake that business do. So the fourth one for me as well, because I love systems.
Yes. Oh no, I'm sure you. I know you do. Actually.
Yes. So building strong systems, Natasha.
Yes.
So many businesses, especially small businesses, they think building systems is actually luxury. So your operations don't actually are not supported by the systems that you would have built. So that's one, it's a very key one. For the startups, mixing business and personal. That's my fifth one as a bonus. Mixing personal and business. Those are the key mistakes that have an impact on finance. That on your roadmap to build your financial resilience that we have found business owners or companies do.
But I think you've touched on very important points, and the one that stands out for me is bringing emotion into it.
Yes.
Because as a business owner, no matter what, you've got to have your systems in place, and you've got to work by that, and you never bring in emotions because it's a professional, you know, it's a business at the end of the day, and you cannot mix your personal and, you know, professional with it and emotions. So I completely resonate with those points that you make. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, and then for those listening in today, what are 3 practical things that you can do right now to strengthen, you know, what can they do to strengthen their financial resilience?
Okay, so we're talking practicality.
Yes.
So don't talk about theories. Go read this book.
No, we're very privileged to have you give us this advice. And as you know, I was saying, I'm learning so much from you. So thank you for educating me.
Thank you, Natasha. So I would say today to the listeners, start creating what we call a rolling cash flow forecast.
Okay.
A rolling cash flow forecast to those that might wonder, what is a rolling cash flow?
Please explain.
There's a cash flow there that is needed. But in this case now, it's the rolling cash flow. Is a continuous financial planning tool that actually help you. You need to be able, Natasha, to predict your business future cash in the next 3 months, in the next 2 months.
Absolutely. Because it can fluctuate. Some months can be incredibly amazing. And some months completely quiet.
So, but you need to have a foresight into that.
Definitely.
So start creating a cash flow, a projection, a rolling cash flow projection that will tell you that in the month of, you know exactly what's coming in. It's not really a surprise. And you put in strategies of how do you control what is coming in and how do you make sure you maximize that and you know what's coming in your bank account. Very, very important. So start creating practical number 1, a rolling cash flow.
Rolling cash.
Then number 2, like what I said before, start building a buffer fund.
Buffer fund. Okay. So that's for the future. You've got basically planning at least 3 months ahead and having cash flow for that, so that if anything happens, you've got a reserve, a cash flow to assist.
Very, very important.
Very important point. I agree. Thank you.
Expenses should be somewhere.
Definitely.
You know, because storms can happen anytime.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So number 3 as well, that many people actually ignore, Natasha. Review what your numbers are telling you.
Definitely. Those won't lie.
You will see that you didn't sleep, Natasha, but you got 10,000 or 1,000. What is the cost of doing your return on investment? What is your return on investment? Review your numbers. It doesn't help you to be working without knowing the profitability of what you are putting in. So start that today. Go to that product if you are selling something. Go to that to that service and see how many hours is needed for me to do this. Is it making sense with the costs? Review your margins.
And I think with our business personally, from my experience as well, what I like about Brandmore is you give us a summary every month of your profit and loss. And, those kind of things help. But we as business owners need to sit with that.
Yes.
Read that, look at that, understand what is happening in our business.
Yeah.
And that's where you do all the work. But we just need to obviously, go through it and be happy with it and work toward, profitability and your return on investment.
Even that, Natasha, I would say, they say, no, you see some of the business that we actually help, they think that the books are with accountants. You get what I'm saying?
Everyone agrees. Feels that definitely.
Business owner, if your accountant is not doing what they need to do, push them to say, I need to meet with you.
Yes.
It should actually, the pressure should actually coming from you to say, I need you to tell me what my numbers are.
And you guys offer a free 30-minute consultation.
Yes.
So, I mean, what more than, just popping Meen an email and getting that free consult and being vested in your business, in addition to having your accountant do the work.
Yeah.
Okay. So then with your journey personally, you're not just teaching this, right?
Yeah.
Because you're living it. You've got Brandmore, which is doing fabulous. And can you tell us about a time in your own business journey when you had to dig deep into financial resilience?
Yeah.
What did that look like and what did you learn?
Okay. So I'm going to break that into two ways, Natasha. So I'm going to talk about the things that I do to build my financial resilience for the company.
Yes.
So how I practically do it is at Brandmore. First of all, I do lead Brandmore as a big corporate.
Yes.
No matter the size that it is. So I lead it as a big corporate. I know that's where it's going. So
100%.
I make sure that I have built systems that really look through everything that we spoke about, right? To make sure that it helps us to see where's the money coming from, where is the money going, and what is costing what in terms of that. So that's how we actually bring all this that we are talking about practically in-house as well. And I also have mastered the separation of business and personal expenses from beginning.
Okay.
The temptation was saying, I just find something at home. You want to no.
Yes.
From the beginning, I mastered that.
Right.
So practically, that's how I actually do it as well.
Wow.
And that I also learned to do, especially from the COVID time, is to pivot and innovate. So 2020 made me to think, no one was allowed to walk.
Yes.
And I learned that you have to pivot. No one was allowed to go and do business outside and all those kind of things, but you still have bills to pay.
Absolutely. So you've got to work around that and be innovative.
We have a conversation with our landlord then to say, we don't have funds, but there's an agreement. You get what I'm saying? They are owning a property, they need their funds.
They also need.
So I learned to pivot and innovate. As much as I love, actually the Brandmore Business Hub was born from WhatsApp.
Oh, wow.
During 2020 COVID.
Wow.
I created a broadcast, sending. So I learned to pivot.
Yes.
So that's
amazing.
From that pivoting, during that we got a contract within COVID that was, wow, we actually even gave our people bonuses.
Oh, that's amazing.
Through innovation and pivoting. So that's what I learned. Also something that I'm still learning from, sometimes we make bad decisions in the business. You can hire wrong people to be there and it's a cost, employees a cost.
Yes.
So, but I've learned to develop the product that we develop of performance management. I learned it through implementing it at Brandmore.
Wow.
I need to see value that is from performance management. So because sometimes you make bad decision during recruitment process, you better have a system that is going to catch your mistakes that you've made.
Absolutely. Because how more accurately can you assess one's performance without a performance management system in place?
Yes.
So I think systems are vital.
Yes.
And definitely with employees in order to see, who's working hard enough and who's not pulling in their weight. That's a nice system to measure. And every single business should have that in place because the employees are what actually contribute to the success of the business,
Yes.
ultimately.
Yes. So employees, we call them that they are the assets.
Absolutely.
So better have the assets, not the liability.
Definitely.
The ones that are not bringing value, you find out the liability because it's a cost.
Yes.
But the ones that are the rightly tuned into the organization, you see, you boom. And also the business boom and they boom.
Yes. And what better way? Performance management.
Yes.
That's definitely something that we also working towards, and we're going to get your assistance with that.
Thank you for that, Natasha.
Thank you so much for that, Meen. Okay, so what are some tools, habits, or systems?
Yes.
I know you love systems, and I think that's the key, takeaway for me is, implementing systems, because you can't run a business on Excel spreadsheets, on things that, you don't have a system in place to monitor, to be able to see those figures as well. So definitely important. So what are some of those tools, habits, or systems that you recommend to help business owners build and maintain financial discipline?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about 4 systems, categories of systems. I'm just going to talk about the 4 categories of systems, and you can find different tools online around those categories. Number 1, Fatima, is systems are not a luxury. But I've found out that through the experience that I have, especially many small business, and those that are about to corporatize their entity, that's the last thing that they think about, or that's the thing that they want to put in place when things are falling apart. Things will fall apart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do it at the onset, though.
I can tell you, things will fall apart if you didn't put systems. So number 1 is the financial system. So which means your finances, where are you recording them? The simple bookkeeping systems, right? So how are you reading your figures? If you are, when you wake up in the morning, especially myself, I'm a morning person, I need to look at my numbers. When you think about that, where are you looking at the numbers? Do you have a system that is going to help you to see what's happening within your organization? How are you keeping cash flow track? How are you forecasting? How are you budgeting? So how are you seeing the financial health of your business? So you need the systems that's financial system. Number 1. Number 2 is your sales or your CRM systems. So these systems helps you to see where are your clients coming from, your leads, because you're in business to grow it. So you need to have a system that is pulling or keeping the record, even of the industry, the analysis of your clients, where are they coming from, so that you know where to channel your resources correctly as well. So that's sales and your CRM systems that can help you get clients.
Very important.
Number 3, also you need to have your what I call operational systems. Standard operating procedures, 100%. Controls within the company. You need to have systems that makes work repeatable, right? Consistent, which is very important. Remember, when you're building, especially for small businesses, it's difficult to get good talent because the environment is different. In a small business environment, you do, and the employee is coming in as a salesperson, but that person is their finance.
Admin, finance, sales, marketing.
Especially so you need systems to make things consistent. 100%. So such that if A come, they know what happens in this organization and how do we. So that at least I always say the organization is it needs to run itself. Not depending on an individual. 100%. So that's come from our operational systems. So it doesn't need to depend. If Molen is not here, this organization should run because they are systems. So number 4 as well is what I love. Performance management system. Understanding that employee. So as a manager, you need to understand, and even I always tell my team as well, understand that you're a business entity on your own. Are you profitable? If you look at the costs that you, let's say your income and your costs, is it matching? And you need to always have that performance management system so that you see what your team is bringing, what value. Because without that, there are 2 risks, Natasha. First of all, you can underpay people who are actually bringing more value.
100%.
And they can feel demoralized because they see that this one is not performing but is getting more salary. That's a key one as well. So if without a system, performance management system, that's a risk.
Yes.
And also the other one is the others that will be just there as a cost, as a liability, like what I said. So you need to align and keep accountable. Your team need to know that they're accountable to the organization, not to anyone, but to the organization, to drive results for the goal. So those are the systems. There are a lot of systems, Natasha. As a system person, I can go on and on. You know, your IT, your data system, as well as so those are the kind of systems that you need to have, and there are different tools right now that you can automate some of these things to help you keep track faster in terms of that. So those are the 4 kind of systems that I can just highlight for now.
Maybe, you know, we must have a checklist that we can go through, because I think many business owners are going to be reliant on these kind of things. So thank you for, you know, mentioning these things. Is QuickBooks and things like that also
under financial system,
the systems that you're kind of talking about, so that they understand? Okay,
So QuickBooks, so remember, these are the types of systems that you need to have. So under financial, right, you need to have a system. How are you keeping records? Are you still putting things in the box?
No more of that, eh? No.
But you have your QuickBooks, your Zero, your the systems that help you, you know, and help you to analyze it, so that at least you can be. So within the CRMs, there's a lot of CRM systems like HubSuite, like a lot of systems, or CRM systems for sales, a lot of systems that help businesses as well. So operational systems as well. You can look at your risk systems, standard operating procedures. How are you measuring this risk? And, you know, there are a lot of tools that can help in each.
Absolutely valuable. I'm learning so much from this. Thank you so much, Meen.
Thank you.
Okay, so any final advice that you'd like to give our viewers out there?
Okay, so thank you for that. To our viewers today, the ones that are watching online, the ones that are going to watch it also, because this video is going to be on our channel. So I would like to say, stop thinking accounting is just a compliance. It's your GPS. It gives you direction as to where your organization is going. It gives you, your numbers gives you the direction of saying what it enables. It's an enabler, right, of your financial health. So the finance of the business is their heart. So without building the behaviors of good financial resilience, many businesses have shut down and closed because of finance. So don't say this is another report that my accountant said. Everything else can stop, right? So that you can understand your figures. I'm emphasizing that because sometimes we find out it's difficult to get hold of even the clients that you say, you say, come, let's meet. You know, but people
they're not available.
They're busy selling, but without understanding that whatever you're selling is not profitable, or is bringing loss. 100%. Without analyzing, you think that money is going. So it's very, very, very important there. So number 2 is respect what your numbers is telling you and do something about it.
Yes.
If you're saying you're making losses, Natasha, it's time to reflect.
Absolutely.
How can I not make losses at this particular time? Very, very important. So respect what your numbers is telling you, because numbers generally don't lie. Number 3 as well, advice that I want to give is, don't take building systems as a luxury. It's fundamental. It's the foundation of building a business.
Yes.
So if without that foundation, I am telling you and I'm promising you, it will crumble.
Yes.
You've seen it.
Yes. And systems are not always very expensive as such. You know, you can work around your business and what you require in terms of affordability, but a system that works.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing the, you know, different types of systems that the viewers can also go.
So remember, if you don't have money to buy the systems, what I call a system is the way standard of operating in this company.
100%.
Is everyone aligned with what risk is there for not being checks.
Yes, yes,
right?
Yes.
Is something that a person can go back and check when they are confused what to do.
Yeah.
So that's the foundation. Because you find out that you have people, they come with even other ideas. They think that they need to do it this way, but it's not the correct way.
That's true.
And you don't have a way of knowing.
Yes.
So systems is not a luxury, it's a foundation.
Yes.
So when I'm talking about system, I'm not saying go and purchase all the system that we spoke about here if funds not permitting. But I'm saying be intentional about how the organization is running.
Yes.
Be intentional. Did you put in standard operating procedures in your organization? And did you invest in internal controls to avoid what could go wrong?
100%. No.
But is what I invest time on. And number 4 is obviously my performance management. You cannot run an organization without aligning the expectations
of the employees.
Yeah, to the employees to know what is expected of me.
Yes.
Because maybe sometimes someone would think they're doing their best, or they are doing over and above because the expectation was not clear. So it's your role as a leader of the organization to make sure that you align so that people don't guess what are they expected of in an organization. So I remember people are your assets. But if you don't properly manage that, they become your greatest liability. But why I'm saying liability is it's very costly to do recruitment, to get another person to train, and also to
takes time as well.
It takes time if you don't do proper procedures. They can go and sue you at CCMA and all that, and you need time to focus on that. So you need to make sure that you build in your processes, your performance management system correctly. So that's my other advice. My last one, Natasha, is pivot and be agile.
Definitely.
Especially in this world, everything is changing.
You have to.
So as a business, you don't say, no, we've been selling these chairs for long. That's the same chair. People no longer want the chair. They want the chair that's swivel, like the one that was
move with the time.
The one that will do. You gotta pivot and be agile as a business, so that you are financially, you build your muscles in finance because you need to go with times. So those are my key advice that I want to just give to our viewers and our listeners.
Wow, I've actually learned a lot from today's talk. Thank you so much, Meen. That was very insightful. And I've realized there's so many, as a business owner, you need to understand your role and your responsibility within your organization.
Yes.
And in order for you to be successful as a firm, you need to take control. You've got to have your systems in place. You've got to have your performance management. You've got to control your finances, where you don't just leave it to your accountant to do, but you look at the figures, you see what's working, you look at where your leads are coming from, you act on that in terms of your marketing, advertising. And wow. This was a lesson for me. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot in this.
Thank you for that.
Let's take a few questions from our audience now. If you have a question, please feel free to drop it in the chat or raise your hand to unmute, and then we'll select a few for Meen to respond to. Okay, so there's no questions.
Okay.
See if there's somebody.
Sure. We'll give the viewers a few minutes to send us any questions. I think you've answered a lot of potential questions.
Yes. So I think in the absence of questions, there's a question.
Okay.
You've talked about systems. How does one know what system to put in place?
Okay, so I think I spoken broadly
Yes.
about systems in the
Yes.
categories. We spoke about financial systems. We spoke about operational systems. So I kind of feel that you need to look at the size of the business,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So when you're looking at the size as a startup, a business that is starting, financial systems critical
Absolutely.
to start off. Maybe you are 1 or 2 people or 3 people, financial system, so that you can see how do you project, what is your future cash flow, so that at least that is in place. That's number one. And when you're talking about financial systems, like what I said, you need to look at, okay, your QuickBooks, your systems, your Zero. There are a lot of systems that accountants use to try and analyze the data of your finance. So if it's a small business, financial systems, it's a must to start off.
Yes.
Then when you are now growing, you're now starting to employ 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, your operational systems, critical, standard operating procedures, because you find out that you can actually continue to redo one thing because everyone doesn't know what to do, where to start. There are no policies. There is nothing in there.
No structure.
And that's very important. So you need to know the size of your company so that at least you know exactly what kind of system now to implement within your organization. When you talk about 10 people, 5 people, so because when you're 5, you know, you're sleeping on duty. You're not doing, you're not pulling the weight.
Yes.
When you're 15, how do you know that person is doing? That's when you start to introduce performance management system, because your team have grown.
Yes.
And without, you cannot oversee everything, right? And as a business, you are setting those foundations. So it's very, very important to see, to note how and where is the organization in terms of size and its needs. And also one that businesses or small business implement later is the sales. Sales is the heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of the business.
Anything.
Advertising your systems that helps you to advertise and get more.
Yes.
You need to implement. I kind of think that if I have to prioritize, number 1 is your finance system and also together with the sales. Because you need to do something. I know when you start a business, you're talking about referrals. They can do so much, yeah?
That's true.
And you'll be at a point of just stagnant.
Yes.
Because everyone who can refer have done it.
Exactly. That's true.
Those are my 2 critical ones that you need to implement. Look at a system that can help you with your sales, your leads, your marketing, and all those kind of things.
Yes.
And look at a system that can help you with finances. And those are the foundation. When the company is growing, look at implementing standard operating procedures. Look at implementing performance management for the growth of the business.
Yes.
So I hope I've answered.
So I think from a financial perspective, we're not saying go out and get all these systems to run your business. But from a perspective of a business owner, rather set up standard operating procedures, get a proper financial system that works where you can cash flow in this kind of thing. So you don't necessarily have to invest because you're a small business, but you do it within your company on your own. And at a later stage, as you grow, you can then pay for other systems that you can obviously implement through the organization. But your foundation is your standard operating procedures. Then your performance management once you get employees.
Yes, that's very critical.
Great.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
We had a follow-up question.
Okay. I did answer it. Okay. What was it?
The question was, is there basic help for the system? So I believe more than the last part of the answer studied and you emphasized on it.
Okay.
So,
Great.
Those are the questions that we had.
Okay.
Is there any other question?
Yeah, I think if there's any questions on the chat, if people have and they can comment on our channels, we'll be able to respond.
Yes.
When they're asking the questions. But financial resilience, it's a must.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a must in the organization.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yes, I just wanted to say also, maybe in wrapping out, if there are no questions, the next webinar, to just talk briefly about the next webinar.
I'll just wrap up then. So Meen, thank you so much for having me here today. This was very insightful for me personally, as well as I'm sure the viewers. And we appreciate your time, the knowledge and information that you've shared with us, because not many business owners like sharing. And I think that you resonate with what I believe in, where we collaborate rather than compete, and we serve our communities. So I commend you for that, Meen, and thank you so much for all of your advice and for having me part of your community here today.
Thank you.
For serving me as my accountant.
Yes, thank you, Natasha. Thank you. I really, truly appreciate your time, taking time out. And some of our clients, they were commenting on the video that you just did about protecting the brand, which is also something that is costly, you know. So some of our clients were really wowed by brand protection, because you know, you get busy and we don't know that we need to protect the brand that you are building.
Absolutely. And that's why I always advise clients, when you register your company, go ahead and file that trademark application, because you know, it takes at least 18 to 24 months to get that R symbol. But you can use the TM symbol to warn the public that you've got a pending trademark application, so that once you go out into the public, you know, no one can infringe upon it, because they're scared. They can see you've got a trademark, you've got protection, and that deters them from actually wanting to, you know, make counterfeit products of your goods or, you know, infringe on your products. So it's very important for brand protection, as well as, you know, if you've got any inventions in terms of patents or creative works for copyright. But I think we'll have another session soon where we can educate the viewers on brand awareness and the importance of trademark protection, because it's something that, you know, increases your asset value as a company, and every company should have it.
Yes, no, that's true. Thank you very much, Natasha.
Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much. So I think just to our viewers, it will be our habit. I think you have seen that we continuously come and share what we are experiencing for the growth of the business as well. So our next webinar is going to be around, because cash and operational loans, they say a business need. So we're going to have a guest, a very important guest, a company that also assists businesses should they reach a rock bottom and they want assistance now, because the banks sometimes takes time to grant, and they ask you where is what. That's why at least a lot of business are underfunded. So we are going to have a guest in the studio to talk more around that. So watch out and just follow us on our platforms as well, to be able to so that you don't miss out on that invitation that is going to be shared.
I'll definitely keep an eye out for that.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.